Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with an action figure that I remember when it first was announced, I never thought I'd get my hands on, but got lucky and found one at a Walmart at the time. This is the Mattel DC Multiverse Collect and Connect Killer Croc Wave Alfred Pennyworth. And I'd never seen an Alfred action figure other than I think maybe the original Batman the Animated Series line. So to be able to have a tangible one with all the different interchangeable heads, gorgeous stuff. So speaking of the box, you see the Collect and Connect Killer Croc there, and then I love how it says Batman 80 years there. DC Multiverse, which was kind of cool. The box was neat, but it was a pain in the ass to open. I love the rendition of the Alfred comic version there. Come around to the side, you get that same awesome look with the DC logo and the Multiverse there on the bottom. On the back there is a rate-up. I'll make sure to get a close-up so you can see it at your convenience, as well as the figures from the wave so that you can build Killer Croc. Come back around this side, it's just Alfred and the logo and the Multiverse, which looks really nice. Nothing on the bottom. Nice varnish DC logo there on the top. So with that said, after all the gushing, is this Mattel figure worth a damn? Well, let's get Mr. Pennyworth out and get a closer look at him. Now I'm going to be honest with everyone. I have loved this figure from the minute I picked it up. It was just one of those moments where when you grab a figure and you know that it's one that you're going to cherish, and this is one of them for me. It just encompasses everything, and it could be that I'm biased as well because Alfred's always been one of my favorite characters. And also, and this is my honest opinion, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but right around when this Alfred figure came out, I kind of felt like Mattel, not DC, was really starting to up their game on these figures, because before that, they were kind of crappy, but this one was really kind of just starting to stand out, and we were starting to get some really awesome figures. Now, don't get me wrong, McFarlane took over, he's kicking ass, but still, this is one I cherish, so let's get him off the spinner, and I'll explain in depth why I love this action figure. Quick backstory on Alfred Thaddeus Crane Pennyworth. His first appearance was Batman number 16 from April 1943. He was originally created pre-crisis by Don Cameron and Bob Kane as Alfred Beagle, and post-crisis reinvented as Alfred Pennyworth by Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson. Pre-crisis Alfred was a retired intelligence agent who followed his father's dying wish to continue carrying on the tradition of serving the Wayne family. Alfred insisted on becoming the butler for Dick and Bruce, who were reluctant as to not expose their secret identities. Alfred found the Batcave by following moaning sounds from wounds that were inflicted upon Batman, thus exposing the dynamic duo's alter egos. However, Alfred's medical care proved he could be trusted with the hero's identities. In Alfred's first appearance, he was overweight and clean-shaven. However, when the original 1943 Batman serial was released, William Austin, who was the actor that played Alfred, was trim and sported a thin mustache. DC editors wanted the comic Alfred to resemble his TV counterpart, so in Detective Comics number 83 from January 1944, Alfred vacationed at a health resort where he slimmed down and grew a mustache. Now, Alfred was seemingly killed in Detective Comics number 328 from June 1964, but it was revealed in Detective Comics number 356 from October 1966 that he had been revived by a scientist named Brandon Crawford. Alfred awoke from his apparent death with pasty white skin, circular markings, superhuman powers including telekinesis, and a desire to destroy Batman and Robin, calling himself the Outsider. In Detective Comics 356, when he is bathed again in the rays of the regeneration machine during a battle with the Dark Knight, he returns to normal with no memory of his time as a supervillain. Now, the surname Beagle was subsequently given to the Alfred of Earth 2. Post-crisis Alfred had the established Pennyworth surname, and Alfred had been the Wayne family butler all of Bruce's life, becoming his legal guardian and helped Bruce establish his superhero career from the beginning. He's a beloved character by both his adopted charges as well as comic fans alike. And he was unnecessarily killed off in the 2019 Batman number 79 by having his neck snapped by Bane, and I personally am still pissed off about it. Ugh. It was just unnecessary. But with that out of the way, let's talk about all the accessories that this Alfred comes with. The first thing is he comes with the original comic version head sculpt, which is the one that I prefer. But, you know, there's going to be people that buy it because they love the old Adam West TV show or the Tim Burton Batman films. So, there goes Alfred. Starting out old school. Let's go even older school. This head right there, as we just talked about a moment ago, this is the Outsider head when he became a villain. And the Earth 2 Alfred looks like this when he is the butler for, is it Owlman? I think is the name of Earth 2 Crime Syndicate Batman. But it's very, I like all the little creases in the skull. Looks great. Those bright blue eyes that are just kind of narrowed down. The rings around it and that scowl looks great. So for those of you that weren't sure what that is, that's what that is. And then, of course, we have to go to the 66 Alan Napier head. And that looks just like him. The glasses look awesome. Eyes, hair, skin tone. And the way it just reflects with the shadows and the light. Great stuff there. Nice head sculpt. Looks just like Alan Napier. Now, speaking of TVs and movies, let's go over to the Keaton. Well, that era, because it wasn't even during Keaton or, what's his name? Not Danny Elfman. Oh my God. Tim Burton. There's like, what is his name? But yeah, this is Michael Gow. I think is how you pronounce his last name. And again, excellent attention to detail on the gray hair, the glasses. It looks just like him. And whenever I look at this head sculpt, I always think it was the commercial for Batman Returns, where Bruce is getting ready to go out, and he's like, "May I advise you to take a sandwich, sir? I'll get drive-through." And of course, that's the opening lines of that movie, but that was also I think it was a Burger King commercial, and they continued on with it. But yeah, great head sculpt there, and this was the Alfred, other than the Alan Napier, but in terms of movies, this was the Alfred that I grew up with. So good stuff there. He comes with this fancy little wrinkled bat mask, which is neat. I mean, it doesn't seem like much. You just kind of, yeah, whatever. But when you get Alfred's serving tray, there we go. Gonna serve the mask up to Batman on a silver platter. Literally. So good stuff. Other than that, there's nothing else you can really do with it. I mean, you could put it in Batman's hand. Like if you have a maskless Batman, like let's say the Mafex Batman, and he's getting ready to put his cowl on, you could put this like he's holding it, like on the Mask of the Phantasm. So there are some options, but other than that, it's there. And then we just talked about the silver tray. If you finagle it enough, you can work it into Alfred's hand and have him serve stuff, which leads me to the next accessory, which when this first came out, I remember that I can't remember which YouTube, it was either a YouTuber or someone on Facebook was talking about the top accessories lost for the year, and everyone was talking about the little cup that Alfred comes with. Now, real quick side anecdote, when I made that, if you go over to TikTok, there's a video I made called "Why Do I Put My Figures Back in the Packaging?" Because a lot of people will put these, you know, all their accessories like in sorters, which I get, but I would rather keep my figures in the box when I'm done with them. That way I could take the accessories, put them back in the blister pack, and I don't have to worry about losing them. But yeah, this was one of the top ones, and the biggest bitch is when you pose him, like if you get him to stand up by himself, trying to put that cup in the center of this tray. I swear that should be like an action figure Olympic sport, because yeah, it is something else. But still, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. And I gotta make sure I don't lose it. But I mean, look at that. That is just absolutely spectacular. Yes, this cup will drive you nuts, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we're just gonna put it upside down. But you get the concept. Very cool stuff there. So those are all the accessories that Alfred comes with. Now for the paint apps, as I was just talking about, I love this head sculpt because this is the comic version of Alfred that I know, with the thin mustache, the balding hair, which Me and him can relate with the bald spot going on back there. But the hair wrapping around, very professional, very British. I hate that when you turn his head, you can see that neck gap. That's the one thing about Mattel that's going to just drive me nuts. But it is what it is. But the body, this one I believe is the same one they used. There was a 60th Joker that came out through Mattel, which looked like the old 70s solo Joker comic thing. And this looks like the same body mold, just repainted, same hands and everything. But still, I mean, got the whole butler. Looks, I can see why they reused it. And at least you can kind of open it up, see his suit, tie. I forget what this is called, the not the cummerbund, but the petticoat or something like that you put over like that. And then you put your regular jacket, very, very high class. Then, of course, the penny loafers there on the bottom. Pinstripe looking pants. This just looks like Alfred walked off the comic panels and is ready to offer you a cup of tea or a sandwich. Great paint apps. Now for articulation, it's not too bad either. I mean, other than that neck gap when you move it around, it's kind of irritating, but he can look down that much, look up that much, twist, and you get some play. So good stuff there. Arms, 360, up. And they do give him the bicep swivel, which I'm thankful for. Double jointed elbow. Hand go down. Hand go up, and it goes spinny, spinny. Now, real quick, in terms of accessories, I mean, he has a pretty good set, don't get me wrong. But because Alfred was British intelligence, or whatever it is, and there's one, if you guys can remember the comic issue, I don't remember if it was, I can't remember the name of the series now. It was 52 issues long. It was kind of annoying. I can't remember. But anyway, Alfred's walking to the door with a shotgun, and he basically says that he doesn't hold the same, views of his master Bruce with the gun, and he's sitting there loading a double barrel, and it is just an awesome panel. So it'd been kind of cool to see him come with like an old school shotgun in that regard, and some fists, because there's a few panels where you just see Alfred full on just whack, because he can handle himself, and so to have maybe some fists and a shotgun would have been a really nice touch. But still, I'm glad what we get in terms of accessories. His legs can split like that. Has a bit of a crunch. Not his ab crunch doesn't do too much. Spins at the waist. Thigh cut. Double jointed knees. Foot go up, foot go down. Spinny, spinny. And McFarlane's gotten me so spoiled on the toe pivot because that's helped in so many positions. So I'm kind of glad that he implemented that, and it's a shame that these older figures don't have it. But as you can see, paint apps, articulation, we definitely, right now, at the time of this recording, have a definitive Alfred Pennyworth. I'd like to see what McFarlane can do to blow this figure out of the water. Here's Alfred with all of the children that he helped Bruce raise or mentor. This is the gold label DC McFarlane Toys Robin, Dick Grayson, that just recently came out. Of course, he is the OG. And then, of course, you go to the McFarlane Toys Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, which came next. And then after that, New 52 Red Hood, which was the next Robin, Jason Todd. And then after Jason Todd came, and this is also the Red Robin, which I wish this was just the original Tim Drake Robin and not Red Robin. But he is also part of the Killer Croc Connect to Collect. So I was happy to get both of these figures. But then came Tim Drake, which became Robin, and then Red Robin. And then it gets a little convoluted because then we got Stephanie Brown, the Spoiler, who became Robin for a while and then allegedly died but came back and regained her mantle as Spoiler. The one that's missing, and I don't know if Mattel released a version of her. Let me know down in the comments if you've seen her. If not, I'm hoping McFarlane will justify that. But she became Batgirl shortly after Stephanie. Cassandra Cain, who is now Orphan, which is one of my favorite characters, which I'd love to see in this lineup. And then, of course, Batman's own son, Damian Wayne. And as you see, putting them together, oh, and then, of course, I always forget, here in the back, the Signal, Duke Thomas, which after the Joker basically destroyed his family, Bruce took him in and he and Alfred helped kind of raise him up and helped him to become the Signal. So as you see, Alfred brings the family together. Whenever Bruce kind of gets on one of his manic tangents, it's always Alfred that tries to bring him back. And if Bruce won't listen to Alfred, then of course we'd go to Nightwing. But in this instance, we have Dick Grayson, because these two are the closest he's had. Because these were the originals. But overall, if it wasn't for Alfred, I'm sure Jason would be a lot more crazy. And that's why I'm so mad that DC Editorial decided to kill off Alfred. It's the dumbest thing they could have possibly done, because even though the current run on Batman, both from Tynion and Zdarsky, are entertaining, you feel that absence. And when Peter Tomasi was doing Detective Comics, you could just feel that glaring hole in everybody's lives, from the Batfamily we see here to Lucius Fox, of course Bruce. It's just not the same. He brings everybody together, and as you can see, he is the heart of the Wayne family. So just seeing him gone just kills me. But before I get too emotional, again, he's been one of my favorite characters for a long, long time. What do you guys think of all these figures? As you can see, the Mattel versions scale perfectly with this Alfred, because they're all from that era. And then the Dick Grayson from the McFarlane line is probably the closest thing you can get to a good scale there. But Jason, Duke, Barbara, they just tower over poor Alfred being 7.5 inches. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that McFarlane will release an updated spoiler, and Alfred and Cassandra Cain, either as with her ninja-style Batgirl outfit or as Orphan. Either or would be a very welcome addition. What do you guys think of all these figures? Let me know down in the comments. I've always loved Alfred from the perspective that he keeps the Bat family together. Whenever Bruce kind of starts to get on his manic moments when he doesn't listen to anybody and won't listen to Dick Grayson, Alfred is always there to bring him or any of them back down to earth and see perspective. Then he's just a very big-hearted, caring person. From the moment that they took Dick Grayson in, to Tim Drake, Jason Todd, taking care of Barbara Gordon, and of course Damian, and anyone else that Alfred considers a friend or a family member. And I think that's just why overall I love him. And the fact too that he was part of the British intelligence, and so he can handle himself. My only gripe with this figure from the comic book standpoint is Alfred was always, when things would happen, he was fisticuffs, for a lack of a better word, or he would carry a gun, saying that I don't hold to Master Bruce's point of view of no weapons. So for the accessories that we got for this figure, I love them, but it would have been neat to see like an old school shotgun and maybe some fisticuff hands for Alfred, other than just the regular kind of open resting hands. Other than that, everything that Mattel gave us, the serving dish, the cup that is a magic trick to get that damn thing to balance, what do you call it, this thing, I can't, the mask to give to Master Wayne, and all the different heads from the era. I mean, even the stranger guy, that was just, or the outsider, that was a cool addition. So just to have different iterations of Alfred makes this particular character special. It shows everything that's awesome about him. So y'all, if you've enjoyed what you've seen with this action figure, please, again, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is you like to pick up your comics and figures. And if not, then you're going to have to go the secondary route, because I have not seen this figure since it was released. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little bat bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Photo slideshow coming up next, and I hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.